Hi, my name is Karen Whittemore. I am a family nurse practitioner. I have been in practice for more than 20 years now. And in all of my time, I have never seen anything quite like the technology from LifeWave with the X39 patch. And today we have a special guest with us. We've got Chris, who has been experiencing headaches all her life. Chris, you're right here. Why don't you go ahead and share with people some of the health problems that you've been dealing with?
Well, I've had migraines my entire life, and they got exponentially worse in the early 2000s. I was in a car accident. And then on top of the regular migraines, I started getting cervical migraines as well. And so anyway, that, and then I've had arthritis from that car accident as well, and lower back pain. And so the patches have really helped in the fact that I have constant sinus infections that I've dealt with because I have chronic sinus problems that I've dealt with my entire life too. I've had two sinus surgeries that have really not helped that much. But I use the Aeon patch, which has really helped with chronic inflammation. And I use the ice wave, and that has really helped a lot. And I like them a lot because of the fact that they don't have medication in them, and it helps. So in conjunction with migraine medicine, I can take these patches and possibly not take the migraine medication. So, and I also suffer with Hashimoto's. And with that comes chronic pain in the joints. And so these patches have really helped improve with cognition and brain fog. And so,
Good.
so
Do you want to share when you first got introduced to the patches?
yes, actually, I saw that you were wearing a little patch on your wrist, and I asked what it was, and then you explained some of what it was and sent me information, and I was very intrigued by that because, of course, like I said, it didn't contain medication, and I'm always very interested. I'm more of an alternative medicine type person. If I can take something alternative or natural, I'm very much interested in that more than pharmaceuticals. And so anyway, you gave me I actually went to a meeting that you had. And so at that meeting, I had a slight headache. And within seconds of you applying that patch, it felt like a vacuum was sucking the pain right out of my head. And that was phenomenal. I will never forget that feeling. So I was hooked at that moment.
Awesome. Awesome. So with Hashimoto's, you talked about how you've been struggling with brain fog and your energy. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yes. So um, when you have a flare up of Hashimoto's, you feel lethargic, you have joint pains, you just, you're in a brain fog continuously. And I have tried the energy enhancing patches, and I love them because they give you, with most energy enhancing drinks or something that you take to get energy, you get the jitters and the shakes. These are not like that at all. You put those patches on and you feel revived. I feel a clarity of mind, and I feel energy, and they're awesome. They really are. And also I faithfully have been sticking with the X39, and I keep a journal. I keep a log, not only for my headaches, and I keep that for, just to know how I'm doing generally, what my well-being. And those are also helping me in getting sleep. And so I feel just a general well-being. I feel better. So I really do like these patches because of the fact that all the things that I've mentioned, um, you know, I still feel some of the effects, especially with the migraines. But I will say that I have never found anything, and I've tried all of Pandora's box of medications and alternative medicines to try to get rid of if migraine sufferers will know exactly what I'm talking about. When a migraine starts, if you can catch a migraine before it starts, while it's still a headache, before it goes into a migraine, this is what these little patches do. I can put these on and then my headache will not go into a migraine. And that is phenomenal. I've never had something like that. And sometimes I will have to take a migraine pill in conjunction, but a lot of the times these patches will stop it before it goes into a migraine. And that is worth its weight in gold to me. So I love that. So I'm a great advocate for that. I've never had something like that.
Yeah. And what is it that you've, yeah. And what is it that you've noticed since using the X39? Because you just started using that faithfully more recently.
Yes, I have. I don't miss now. I have it on my back now, or on my neck. I am sleeping better, and I can formulate cognitive sentences, at least 2 of them in a row. So yeah, it really does. It helps with clarity of mind again. So I mean, between some of those patches, I don't know if it's the energy or if it's the X39, but they really do help.
Yeah.
Yes.
And now you mentioned also your daughter and your sister having a problem with
Yes. Yes,
tell us about that.
this has made them believers. So both of them, and this has happened. One of my daughter, we'll talk about her first. She had Rhineck, and I don't know if you guys know what that is, but when your neck is, it's a virus, I think. Her neck was over to the side, and she woke up that way, either sleeping in the wrong, just waking up after sleeping in the wrong position, but her neck, no range of motion, over, just like so upset. She had things to do. And so I happened to have my patches. I put them on, and within seconds, her range of motion was back. And she was like, "What is this witchcraft?" It was so it was amazing. And so, anyway, same thing. Like a few weeks later, I happened to be at my sister's house. Same thing, slept in the wrong position or right neck, put those patches on, and then she was able to move her neck out of that limited range of motion. And so she, both of them purchased them right away.
Cool.
The ice wave, it was ice wave.
Now, I thought you had mentioned to me in the past about your experience with glutathione too. Am I remembering something correctly about that?
Yes, I also use glutathione as well, and I think that I see if it, I'm not, I don't know, I'm using all of them, so
okay, so it's hard to know what's affecting
it is, yeah, I'm using that as well too.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us. And I have a question for everybody. Have you been patched yet? I have been wearing the patches now for 3 years. And can you imagine elevating, activating, regenerating your stem cells? Experience a level of health and vitality that you haven't experienced since your youth. Imagine having no pain, sleeping through the night, having more energy, and reversing aging. Well, these things aren't just science fiction. These things are actually possible with the X39 patch. So how does this little patch work? I mean, our stem cells decline with age, and why do you want to use it? So the older we get, the fewer the stem cells that we have, and the faster we age, the slower we heal. And there's hundreds of millions of people out there experiencing symptoms of aging, just like myself. I was noticing, so I'm 57 right now. And I was noticing how thin it was getting under my eyes and how my hair was kind of receding along the sides. And I was not sleeping well. I was getting up every 1 or 2 hours, just about every couple of hours to pee at night. And as we age, the stem cells in our body become less and less effective. By age 60, the stem cells in our body show very little activity. They become slower, and they're releasing less of the growth factors that are needed to repair our body. And by the time we're in our mid 70s, they're showing almost no stem cell activity at all. And that's why older people have such a difficult time healing from injury. Now, before we get on too far, LifeWave does have a disclaimer. LifeWave products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition, and you always want to consult with a physician or other qualified healthcare provider before embarking on a new treatment, product, or diet or fitness program. So that being said, these little patches are not healing you. What they are doing is they are increasing your level of copper peptide and allowing your body to heal itself. They're giving your body what it needs. So this is kind of like the holy grail of reverse aging. They're made out of organic nanocrystals, and they elevate a certain peptide in our body called copper peptide. And in turn, our stem cells get activated by this. It's clinically proven to enhance overall health and vitality. And what it is it's frequency medicine. So I kind of think of the sun when I'm thinking of frequency medicine. And Albert Einstein in his day said that the future of all medicine would be frequency medicine. And this is a perfect example of that. So when you go out in the sun's light hits you and stimulates your body to start producing more vitamin D. The sun is not giving you vitamin D. It's telling your body to start producing vitamin D. And it's that same principle when our body's light, and we are constantly emitting light, we don't always see it, but if we look with far infrared goggles, we see that heat, that form of light that's in the far infrared spectrum. So we feel it as heat, but we can see it with night goggles. As that light hits the patch, these organic crystals infuse it with a particular frequency, send it back into the body, and that in turn gets your copper peptide going, and that stimulates your stem cells. But even just the copper peptide alone has a lot of wonderful benefits to it. In fact, this is what the National Institutes of Health has to say about it on their website. Copper peptide stimulates blood vessel and nerve outgrowth and increases collagen and elastin for visible anti-aging. Copper peptide's ability to improve tissue repair has been demonstrated for skin, lung connective tissue, bony tissue, liver, and stomach lining. Copper peptide has also been found to possess powerful cell productive actions such as multiple anti-cancer activities and anti-inflammatory actions, as well as having anti-anxiety, anti-pain, and anti-aggression activities. So these are pretty amazing things. And who came up with it? Our inventor, founder, and CEO is David Schmidt. He has over 130 US patents. He is a scientist and an inventor. He is a two-time recipient of the Advanced Technology Award from the International Hall of Fame. And how did LifeWave first begin? Well, he was actually working on a project for the military, for the Navy SEALs, trying to help them come up with a way for the Navy SEALs to be able to stay submerged in a submarine for 30 hours without the use of stimulants, without the use of drugs to keep them awake. And that's where he came up with the whole prototype for the energy enhancer. During that time, 2001, the towers went down, and the military had a different shift of focus. So they didn't continue with this, but this turned out to be a wonderful blessing for us. David Schmidt decided that this was just such a wonderful gift for the world that rather than trying to market it in a way, or just giving access only to the military, he decided to bring it to the world so that every country could participate and be able to use these patches. So that was back in 2004. This company has been in business for the last 20 years. It did $17 million in its first year. It has unique products exclusively protected by multiple patents, and there are over 80 research and clinical studies. There are independent researchers and universities and medical and scientific experts that have looked into these patches. This on the bottom is one of the studies that was done. This is the brain scan of a 77-year-old female. And if you look on the right-hand side, you can see the scale. So this brain scan is showing the microvoltage of the brain. And as it goes more into the red, that's showing too much voltage, too much overactivity. That's an overstimulated brain. And during this first session with this lady, you can see that she has a very overactive, overstimulated brain. She's probably got a lot of anxiety. She may have possibly PTSD or other issues, but the fact is it's an overactive brain. And after 3 weeks of using the X39 every day, the brain is much calmer. And after 6 weeks, she is still able to maintain that greater calmness in her brain. And that's amazing when you consider that at the age of 77, she likely had very, very little stem cell activity at all. So the fact that this patch was able to activate and stimulate, get those stem cells going and elevate them, that is phenomenal. Over here on the right-hand side, we've got one of the patents. This is the patent for the X39. And right there in the patent, it says that it is for the elevation of copper peptide, which stimulates our stem cells, activates our stem cells. And you don't get a patent approved unless you can prove the science, unless you can prove that it's doing what it's claiming to do. So that is pretty incredible. And we do have studies showing that within 7 days, our copper peptide dramatically increases in the body. So what are the benefits? What are the benefits that you might expect from the X39? Well, what they've shown in studies is a decrease in pain relief, rapid pain relief. Now, this doesn't happen rapidly for every person. Everybody can be a little bit different, but this is something that many people have reported experiencing. Reduction in inflammation. And we do have studies that show within 24 hours, you have this reduction in inflammation. And when you stop to consider that inflammation is at the core of most of our disease processes, from autoimmune to our, cardiovascular disease, our diabetes, all kinds of things have inflammation at the core. Anything that we can do to help improve that is going to improve our overall general well-being. It's amazing with wound healing. And we do have a number of testimonials out there and pictures that demonstrate how that works. It can improve energy and vitality, as Chris has experienced. She felt like she had more energy using these patches, and mental clarity, more focus, enhanced sports performance. So for those athletes out there, this can be really helpful for that, and recovering faster from exercise. Also, improve skin appearance. So that was one thing that I noticed, is that I started having more plumpness again under my eyes, which I really appreciated. And what's going on in the body? So within the first few days of using the X39, 4,000 genes begin to reset. So that's about a third of our body's genome. That's huge. And within 6 weeks, we already saw the images of the 77-year-old brain. Our brain becomes more balanced. There's decreased symptoms of PTSD, anxiety, and depression. Within 3 months, your collagen is increased. So that can mean decreases in wrinkles, hair growth can increase, increases in structural integrity of both your skeletal and your muscular systems. So collagen is really important for our vanity, for the outside of our body, but it's even more important for what's going on the inside. And this is a really interesting experience. Within 6 months, they had 15 people using their X39 every day. And after 6 months, they found that 14 out of the 15 people had reversed their vascular age by 8 years. That is incredible. That's heart reversal. It's not just anti-aging, it's age reversing. So everybody needs this, because cardiovascular disease is still the #1 killer. So anything that we can do to help support that is wonderful. So where can you go if you want to learn more? We do have a website. It's called yourteaminmotion.com. You can go check it out, write it down. We have testimonials on there. We've got pictures. We've got information about the products and about the business. If you are interested in actually getting the patches for yourself, you may want to talk to the person who invited you here today, get a little bit more information. There are different ways to use the patches, and they can help share with you if it would be better for you to join as a brand partner, or if in your situation it might be better just to become a preferred customer or a preferred plus customer plus, because it's $50 off each month when you do that, which is a great savings. Instead of $150 for the X39, you're only paying $100 a month, which is great. For those of you that are in this area that are in Utah, just a little reminder that we are meeting in Cedar City at the library this coming Saturday at 10 o'clock, and Nikki and Larry will be here with us. So we're really looking forward to that. And yes, thank you so much for joining us all. It's good to see everybody. Hi, Randy. Hi, Bruce, Sherry, Robert, Melody, Adeline, Tiffany. Thank you for joining us. And thank you so much, Chris, for sharing your story and experience. We appreciate having you today.
Thank you.